What's up, everybody? It's Celoras, and I'm back for a short little video about my UI. I went over it in my last video a little bit, but not too in depth. I'm just going to try to keep this video a little short, Some people want to see a little more of my UI, some macros, weak cards, etc. So I'm going to start off with macros. This is kind of my opener, or cooldowns. I have berserking because I'm troll. I have use 10, and 10 is gloves. I use my potion of speed, and if you want to be really cringe, you can use a chipped power core from the Ghostlands. I've been doing that for ICC, but I did it a little bit into the GC. So usually on pull, or 1 second before pull, I pop my potion of speed with my keybind, which is R, and then when my cooldowns come back up during the fight, I usually just press Control 2 down here, which is this macro up here, and it's so I don't have to frantically press 3 or 4 different buttons at the same time. It saves a little bit resources. And simple cancel macro for dispersion. And Shadow Fiend. This last line here, use pet spice mammoth treats. That is just to give your pet, a little bit of more damage. It's very, very minimal, but damage is damage. Those are really the only 2 or 3 I use for Shadow. I have nothing really special. Everything else is like either healing or asking for PI or giving PI when I'm playing disc. You can use mouse over macros for your dots, but I tried that. I think back in Old War, and it was bad because sometimes my mouse was over the boss or a different ad when there were multiple ads up, and it went on the wrong one. It just overwrote my other dot, and especially if there are really big boss models like there are in ICC, like Lord Marogar and Centrigosa, and even Putricide a little bit with the oozes coming out and stuff. So I wouldn't really recommend them, but use your own discretion. And nothing really crazy. Back to the Weakars, I will link my small but humble Priest Weakar pack in the description. So I showed this on my other video, but this just tells me when my Shadow Fiend is lusted or not. It will glow like this when the Shadow Fiend is not lusted, but when it is, it goes away. It's kind of just to know, during mid-fight, if my Shadow Fiend got lusted, and it's kind of like knowing when to get tilted or not, I have this called Gloves 2, which puts a button glow on my gloves when they're ready, so I don't have to constantly watch my frames or put a different random button clutter in the middle of my screen for it. I just have a button glow so I know when it's up. I'll show that in combat on this dummy in a little bit. And then just the 3 dot timers right here. Different Plague, Momentary Dots, Shadow Bane. I find it really convenient to have them between both my player frame and my target frame. It's just, having most things in one place reduces your eyes from having to go all across the screen. And just these 2 tell me when I don't have them on in a raid or dungeon. Sometimes I forget. This one, I'll show it during combat, but it just tells you when or how little or too much delay you've had on your Mind Flay. And that's also kind of like the Shadow Fiend glow. It tells you how good you're doing mid-fight, but it's not something good to have on during a boss because you're just going to find yourself staring at it the whole time. And it'll just get you tilted. And this Foji thing I need to delete because I don't really use that stuff. It was just like the bite Weakar on Lanathel for a pug I had to use. And then, so I use ElvUI mainly for my whole UI. And the cast bar is really important because it shows the ticks on it and the latency. I'll show you during combat as well. But I have it right in between these 2, right near the dot timers. It kind of keeps this area down here with a lot of information, as well as my raid frames down here. My raid frames are down here because I've played a healer for so long. It's just natural. I see a lot of DPS have their raid frames on the side of the screen, but I just can't do that because I'm still a healer at heart, and I need to see what's going on in the raid and make decisions based on whether people are low or what debuffs they have, etc. So I find it very useful to be looking at raid frames myself, but that could be a sensory overload for some people. What else? Yeah, so these boss frames don't really work in Wrath. The only boss it really works on is Blood Queen, or is like Blood Prince Council, and it's a shame because boss frames are pretty good. Let's see. I will link some macros and my ElvUI profile in the description below is my little weaker pack. So this ElvUI profile is, you know, I've had it for a long time. It originated probably 4 or 5 years ago when I played on a private server for Wrath, and I just kind of kept it ever since. It's just been working. I don't really want to change it. I've tried to change it a little bit, but I'm just so used to this. So I'm going to do a little bit of combat to show you, you know, some of the weak R's in play. You can also watch some of my other videos of my rank 1, you know, kill videos on Deathbringer or Red Margar or whatever. So I'm not going to do a perfect rotation here. I'm just going to show you my weak R's. So you can see the dot timers. I just missed Devouring Plague because I don't know why. I'm 9 over hit. But I also have these aura bars down here. You can see in my kill videos they were up here above my player unit frame, but I recently changed it because I was thinking that since these bars, when there's like 6 of them up here, they kind of take up some space in the middle of the screen. And I've never really minded it, but I kind of got thinking like this is kind of the middle of the screen, and you usually want to see in the middle of your screen, so I kind of moved it down here. I made it much smaller because it's not vital information, but it's just nice to know, like what buffs you have or whatever. So you can see I have 5 Shadow Weaving, I have Emergent Spyglass stacks, and you can also know when your DFO procs or phylactery, it'll show trigger procs in here right here. DFO. I think it goes up to 6 right now. You can see when you have Power Infusion as well. And you can see the button go down here in my gloves. I have it set to green, but you can change the color to anything you want. The default is like the yellow that you see on the Shadow Fiend right here. See, it's not lusted, but when it gets lusted, it goes away. I could probably do this button glow for berserking, but since berserking is a 3-minute cooldown, I usually know when it's back up. But gloves come up more frequent, so I tend to forget about that. And you could make button glows for other things, such as Mind Blast if you don't have tier 10, and potentially Fade. I don't know, just, you know, anything with short cooldown that you tend to forget, put a button glow on it for now, and then once you get used to it, you can remove that button glow. That's what I would think. That's what I would suggest. I have the same thing on my Hunter for Walk and Load, or my Mage for Hot Streak procs, and I find it really helpful because most button glows don't get implemented in the game until Kata or Mop or onwards. There aren't really any in the game right now, so I just kind of took the inspiration from retail and put them in the game right now in Wrath. So yeah, that is really all I have. Just want to make this video a little short, but short is in 8 minutes. I kind of go off in tangents, but you know, I'm not too used to this whole YouTube thing. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll put some of the shit below that you can copy and paste in your own UI. But thanks for watching, and watch some of my other videos, share it with your friends, you know. I would like to help other people play Shadow Priest. I think it's probably the hardest caster class in Wrath to completely master. Like, if you want to be top, you gotta master, you know, even your reaction time. More so than Warlock or Mage is easy mode converted Shadow. So if you can get good at this, be proud of yourself. Oh, one last thing. I am editing this in because I forgot after I recorded the whole actual video, is mix scrolling battle text. So I think this is pretty important because it reduces some clutter on your screen from the default UI. You know, on the default UI you have, you know, a bunch of incoming damage numbers, a bunch of buffs you have going through the center of your screen right here. But with mixed scrolling battle text, MSBT, it's all on the side of your screen. Like you can see debuffs, buffs, the healing you're receiving, the damage you're taking on the left, and the buffs and debuffs on the right. And I moved it from the center because in the center it's just a bunch of clutter, and I just think it kind of clears up the screen a little bit, especially if the numbers are a little small. They're not big. You know, if you have big numbers, it's just more screen clutter and you can't really see what's going on. And I will put the profile in the description as well. And since MSBT doesn't have a import option in its add-on, you're going to have to go to your WoW folder, go into the WTF folder, and go to your account, the account's saved variables, and then find the file link or the file that I will show a picture of, and import the text into that notepad text document. And unfortunately, I don't know why they don't have an import option, but this is pretty much the only way. As you can see here, it's only copy, reset. So once you put that into your notepad file, save it, and hopefully it's in the game. So that was the last thing. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good one. See ya.